Alright, so I got a new bass pedal and now I want to talk about it, so you better listen.
Or don't.
Anyway, so this is the VT Bass DI from Tech 21. Now the reason I got this pedal is because I have one of their other pedals, which is the YYZ Shapeshifter, Geddy Lee signature pedal, which I absolutely love. And I wanted a DI out pedal, which means I can send it straight to the PA system and don't have to worry about an amp. So yeah, this pedal allows you to basically run ampless. Like you could just take a 1/4-inch jack, an XLR cable, your bass, and this, and you'd be fine. You wouldn't have to lug around a massive amp or anything like that. And I have to say, the sound of this pedal is very, very good. In terms of output, you have your DI output right down here. And on top of that, you have a standard output like any other pedal. So you can run this basically as a stomp box or an overdrive or whatever. You have a parallel output, which is good for recording, and you have a lot of different options on here. So I'm just gonna go over the knobs super fast. So some of the obvious knobs are you have your level knob, which is just your volume, and then you have a blend knob, which is really helpful because you can use this as a really more of a subtle effect, or you can have this just overtake your sounds. Me personally, I like this right around noon to 1 o'clock. So then you have your 3-band EQ, low, mids, your highs, they work as you think they should. And then you have your drive knob, which is just how much overdrive you want. And then the interesting one of the knobs anyway, is the character knob. This is gonna change the way your bass sounds in general. If you have it all the way down, it's gonna have a super low sound. It's gonna be very boomy. If you have this all the way up, it's gonna sound super trebly. It's gonna sound almost like a Darkglass pedal. So I recorded a comparison. Everything here is set at noon except for the character knob. First clip is gonna be all the way down. Second clip is gonna be all the way up. So obviously it's a very different sound. Me personally, I like this around 10 to 11 o'clock. Alright, down here you have some buttons. The first button down here is your Phantom Ground and Connect, which basically turns on the DI out. You have a 10 plus dB boost for the standard output. You have a negative 20 dB pad on the XLR output, which is good in case you're running a smaller venue or if you're recording. And then next you have a byte switch, which is basically a treble boost. I actually found this really useful when using this with my 5-string bass. It helped clean up some of the muddiness that often is on the B string on those instruments. So if you have a 5-string, I would recommend using that button. And then down here you have a speaker capstan, which emulates like cabinet speakers. I love this button. This is always on. It adds a lot of depth, a lot of character. It's kind of subtle, but I would highly recommend having this on, especially if you're using this as a preamp and not a distortion, which in my opinion, this pedal is strongest used as a preamp. As a distortion pedal, it's pretty good, but I feel like if you want a distortion pedal from Tech 21, I would just get the YYZ. As a distortion pedal, I feel like that is almost perfect. If you'd like to hear me talk about that, actually, I'd be more than happy to. Yeah, if you want a solid preamp in a box, the VT Bass DI is a very solid direction, especially if you like Ampeg type sounds. And yeah, thanks for watching. And if you want me to do more pedal and gear reviews, just let me know.